been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on.
Please look around. Policemen were around, but they disappeared on July 21st. We waited them for 39 minutes before police arrived. Men in white clothes used knives as weapons to attack us.
How old are you?
11.
I'm a Hong Konger. Please use your vote to protect Taiwan. We can only show you once.
The complete reunification of the motherland must be achieved and can be achieved.
The Chinese Communist Party, Xi Jinping and Wang Qishan's National Security Council, and the Chinese regime, which is ruled by the party and kleptocrats, have already planned everything. The 500,000 troops and the missile force are ready in Fujian. When the CCP loses its full control of Hong Kong, the US imposes comprehensive sanctions and a comprehensive blockade, like the Tiananmen Square massacre. That is, when the West, the US, and the world impose sanctions on China, the CCP will suddenly launch targeted decapitations and military strikes on Taiwan to completely regain Taiwan. In today's Taiwan, the CCP arranged Han Kuo-yu and finally Terry Gou for Taiwan's presidential election. It is their most powerful move against Taiwan, called the Double Dragon policy.
Taiwan is an inalienable part of China.
Well, as far as close relations, you have to.
Let me tell you, Mr. Cook, I'm not just talking about the United Front Working Department, but the 7th Office of the Military Commission. The 7th Office has prepared a comprehensive report on you. This report is in my hands. We support all of Taiwan, not just one of political parties, and do not involve in Taiwanese politics. We want to destroy real puppets representing CCP's kleptocrats.
Your vote determines the fate of Taiwan.
County officials and stuff in the 168, the RNC, we're going to show them. My teams are going to be there. We're going to show them, here's what these elections should look like. We got to use Taiwan as the gold standard of the world. We have to secure our elections as much as we can. Everything, every county in this country, every precinct, to be all eyes, all hands on deck. And then if you remember what our great real president said, that's one of the #1 things he's going to do is secure our elections for our future generations. So we never, ever have to go through all this again with elections we don't trust.
Okay, good morning, good evening, everybody. So welcome to our new episode of Quantum Insight. So today is Thursday, February the 1st, 2024. So today, I'm your host today, Jenny Machado. So today we have a very special guest, so Dr. TCC, so a well-respected doctor, so in our community. So the topic of this episode is about the recent election. So Dr. TCC will share some of her personal experience, which somehow I think is very inspiring. So first of all, Dr. TCC, please say hello to the audience.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for Jenny Macedo for the opportunity to come to your show and talk about Taiwan's election. I think everyone has been focusing on the Taiwan's election, so I'm glad I have a chance to share with everyone about my personal experience. Thank you.
Thanks. So that will be the first part of the show, and then the second part we will also take advantage of Dr. TCC's expertise, so to talk about another critical issues about this virus and vaccinations. So Dr. TCC will also give some professional, general advice on that topic. So first of all, so we know that in the very first day of the year, so Zero Hedge published an article, so titled Corruption, Chaos, and Conflict, which is the fourth turning erupts in 2024. I think so. All this the common battle behind, I think, is election. So 2024 is a super election year. There will be national elections in more than 60 countries worldwide. So about 2 billion voters. So which is approximately a quarter of the world's population are expected to heading to the polls this year. So I think so. So all this corruption, chaos, conflict behind, I think the election is the battle where in which this globalist and this regular people, right? Face this good and evil face each other. So it's the globalists want to consolidate their power by imposing their puppets as the leader. So while this so the normal people wants the only way to achieve their freedom, to gain their freedom back, is to impose the leader which represent the people's will. So at the beginning of this year, I think in the New Year's speech, the head of the Chinese Communist Party, Xi Jinping, in his speech, he vows to sort of to reunify Taiwan by any means. So it's first of all, I want to share sort of a short story behind. So please go back to the previous slides. So when I prepared this post, this episode, so I just asked some AI for title. So for example, and then I want to just use this Microsoft AI to just generate a post. So the title is so here the title I put is the Taiwan's Crossroads, a battle for democracy and identity. I think this is a sort of a very just common common words, right? So when I put this into this Microsoft AI, so now so what's the response behind? So it's the response is you see the yellow part, which is in a very small character. So I enlarged and on the right it's your designs couldn't be generated. You have triggered Microsoft's responsible AI guidelines. So I was just really pissed off, and then of course no surprise, but I'm still surprised. Even this title, right? So which are the keywords that triggered this AI guidelines? Taiwan, democracy, identity, So it's I mean, this for me, this is really like a ridiculous. But on the other hand, we know that this Microsoft has a lot of business with the Chinese Communist Party on the. So from this perspective, so it's just I think it's just make me just so we have to fight harder. I mean, so before talking about this election, so I just share some latest news from. So the first one is from CNN. So CNN exclusive. Xi promised Biden like China wouldn't interfere in 2024 election. So I think this is so I mean, even for me, like even CNN put this as a title is sort of a laughable, right? So it's to read this as a promise or threat, like to the whole United States, right? So it's like a promise not to interfere. It means what is so like Xi Jinping interfered in the previous one, right? Something. So I think so. So my comments I want to quote. So I want to quote from Representative Rija Krishn. It's a very long name. Krishnamurthy. So I mean, so in his speech in a hearing about the threat of Chinese Communist Party, like here I quote: "So we should judge the CCP by their actions, not their words." Right. So it's like so their words, their promise means nothing. So please go to the next. So the latest results, basically the final results of the Taiwanese election, like Dr. TCC will explore this in more detail. Is like this. So this KTM, which is the party, which is a puppy of the puppy of the CCP, like so this Han Kuo-yu, like so elected as the Taiwan legislation speaker elect. So it's it's kind of we won this presidency, but somehow in this there is a setback at the level of this legislation. So this is the sort of a final result of this Taiwan election. So please go to the next one. So I think finally this is about the news about the economy. So this a lot of new countries, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. They also joined the BRICS. So all this BRICS is basically behind is joined this digital currency. So it's the circle. So initiated by Xi Jinping, the Chinese Communist Party, aiming at to challenge this the U.S. dollar's dominant position. So it's I mean, personally, I always think that the Xi Jinping's goal is the most important thing is to win this economic battle, to really to take down the king dollar's position. So I think this whether to choose when to initiate this the connect war towards like Taiwan and later this Asian area. I think she will sort of act at the moment where like the U.S. economy at this weakest point. So she will use this as sort of a reinforcement to really to take down this king dollar. So that's my personal opinion. So okay, so now let's welcome Dr. TCC. So she will share first of all some backgrounds about this Taiwan election and some of her personal experience. Please, Dr. TCC. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny Macedo. So Taiwan's presidential election was held on January 34th. Still, we just passed 2-3 weeks ago. As Jenny Macedo mentioned, this is a very important election year, 2024, and Taiwan is the first one, and the last one will be the U.S. presidential election. So can we see the figure 1, please? So when I'm in Taiwan, 5 days prior to the election day on January 8th, everyone in Taiwan received this warning message that China has launched a satellite from Mandarin or a missile from English, you can see, flew over the southern part of Taiwan. So this, the Chinese Communist Party is overlooked Taiwanese tolerance to this. You know, I think everyone's just laugh at it because we have been threatened over years, and this is just a minor wrinkle, maybe not even a wrinkle to our election. I'm very proud of being able to vote this time because this is a very special time for Taiwan, not only at its local level, but also in defending democracy and high-tech chip industry in Taiwan at a more global scale. So let me talk about a bit of Taiwan's election history first. So the first presidential election that the president was elected by popular votes from the citizens of this free island was in 1996. So it's not a long time ago. And this is the 8th time of presidential election. For the past 7 times, Taiwan has successfully transformed into the so-called party alteration every 8 years for the past elections. Jenny Macedo, do you know what's party alteration?
Yes, I think this sort of some people believe that is in order to keep a democracy, right? So it's like it's better to have a different party like these alternations for the country.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's right. Just like in the US, you can see usually the Republican Party for 8 years and the Democratic Party for the next 8 years. In Taiwan, we have about 200 parties, can you believe? But clearly there's 3 major alliances. And so one is the Democratic Progressive Party, which is the party in charge now. So their claim is Taiwan's sovereignty, and we want to be independent. And the second is the KMT, the Kuomintang, that Jenny Macedo mentioned that Han was part of it. And actually, they are proposing to have this unification under PRC. And the third alliance is the status quo. So it's led by the Taiwan People's Party. So the result of this election that the DPP wins for the 3rd consecutive terms, which is unusual for Taiwan's previous presidential election. As we mentioned that earlier, it has been rotating between the parties since 1996 election. So can we see the second figure, please? So the result of the election year, I call it a defending democracy, clearly show it to the Chinese Communist Party that the world that Taiwan people care more about freedom and democracy. Here you can see that William Lai is getting 40% of the votes, and the KMT, which support communist China, getting 33.5%, and the other party is getting 26.5%. If we can see, you know, the opposition party, KMT, and the Taiwan People Party is getting about 60% of the votes. In 2016, current President Tsai became the first female president, and it's earlier than the US. You know, US so far hasn't have a female president. And she won a 2nd term in 2020. And at this time, William Lai was her vice president. So the 3rd term won by the party that their mission is going to support the independence of Taiwan. So I think due to the concept of party alteration, so William Lai, the president-elect, did not get over 50% of the popular vote, because some of the Taiwanese believe that we should change a party to lead this term. So that's why he did not. And previous two terms by President Tsai was over 50%. Even, on the last time was approaching to 60% of the votes to support DPP. So as to voting rate this time, another very important number that we should look at is the total voting rate, and it's as high as 72%. So just for your reference, comparing to the US, it was 49% in 2018 and 66% in 2020. But I'm not sure about this 66%. Is that making 66% or real 66%? So you can see that Taiwan is much higher than the US. So the next portion I want to share with everyone is Taiwan's elections use traditional in-person voting with paper ballots. So can we see, this figure, yes. So before the election, each citizen will receive a red voting notice, an email, and that containing your name, address, and the votes that you can vote at this time, and the place to vote. So I'm so lucky that my unit belonged to a large complex building and surrounding areas. So there's a voting place set up just right at the community recreation room downstairs. So the voting time starting from 8 in the morning and end at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. It is a Saturday to allow people can go home to vote. In the morning when we were downstairs, there was already a lineup about 20 people at 8 o'clock. So the person in charge on site will call up 2 voters to check the ballots, which were still sealed, and then open the sealed package of the ballots in front of the 2 voters. And after that, those ballots will be given to the helpers to distribute one at a time to voters at the door. So there were also sealed ballot boxes in front of the voters. Can we see next slide? Right, so you can see the voting box is sealed and it's color coded. So the red is for presidential votes ballot, and the yellow one is for the members of legislative yuan, and the other one is for the party votes. So when in my term, I first give them the voting notice, and they will collect it and my identification card and a stamp that with my name on it. And so they have a registered book, and so they will put stamp my stamps on the area and showing that I'm here. They check my ID, and then they will give me 3 voting ticket, the ballots, and 1 for presidential, vice president, and 1 for district candidate of the legislative yuan, and that's our Congress and House, and 1 for party. So the party can nominate in order a group of candidates, and depending on the proportion of the party votes they get, each party can have a number of representatives in the legislative rank and become lawmakers. So there are several important points for this election.
So can I just ask a quick question?
Yes.
Okay, so for the party you mentioned, there are 300 parties, right? So they are all in the third box, like a.
No. So yes, you can pick from those because we have about 200 parties, but not all the parties participate. So I think so we will receive a notification including how many parties are there, and what's their vision and the missions, and we can choose from. So from the note I get is about 15 parties on the paper, so you can choose from. Yeah.
Okay, only 15, so not that many. Okay.
No, then that would be a row of papers.
Yeah. So another question is like, what type of ID? Like they would try to verify. So
right. So we have a identification card. It's different from driver's license. It's not a passport. But right now, U.S. have this card as well. So with your name and your social security number, so we have that number as well, your address, and maybe your spouse name there, and just your identification, and more importantly, the picture, so they can check if that's the same person.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, so can we see next slide? So I just want to stress that the votes for the party votes. So there are that's about that. So through Mr. Guo's revolution, we understand that what is the CCP's two-gun strategy, or two of the three major presidential candidates was either being a representative of the CCP, like the one for KMT, and the other one is there's a deep tie for the organ transplantation program in China. So that's another person. So actually, the third person who even is not getting, so we show that it's getting 26% of the votes. He is distracting. So you can see that besides the LICE group, the two KMT and the Taiwan People's Party, they get 60% of the votes. So I think with Mr. Guo's revolution, and that's why in 2020 we have a very majority in this legislative yuan. And so you can see that. Maybe
I just ask a quick question. So do you think this counts as a miscalculation? Because from the number, right, if you combine the votes from the last two parts, it's about like a 60%. Do you think so sort of it's a miscalculation of the CCP? If they were like smart, they just push one candidate, and then probably they can win. What's your opinion on that?
I don't think so. So right now, I believe over 50% of the people in Taiwan, they understanding the threat from the Chinese Communist Party. And so that's why, and the reason this time the party not associated with the Communist China did not over 50% is because of our concept of party alterations. So so that's why it's very lucky that we still keep our, away from the influence of the Communist China.
Yes, I see. Okay.
So our legislative yuan usually have 113 members. So this time we select 65% of them are from selection. So each district we can vote one person, and so that person will be depending if they won the small district, and they can be elected. So 73 of them are from that, and 6 of them are actually indigenous, are native Taiwanese. They are from the mountain, just like Aboriginal people. So they have 6 seats, and the 30% of the members actually is from this party list. So each party can have a list of people. So the Han is one of the top first represent KMT. And so in this, the parties like a list of candidates to be elected. And so depending on their proportion they get of the party vote, and they can have the, one, they can have 14 and the other one can have less. So that's why you can see that actually the KMT, the blue color, is a 50 vote in legislative yen. And the ones represent the DPP is only 51. So it's less than that. That's why Han got elected as the House Speaker in the sense. And this is not unique to Taiwan. So this is, you can, I do a Google search, and this kind of election is also seen in Spain, Turkey, and Israel. So it's interesting to find out this. And the last portion I want to share is, I think the significance of it, this election is very, very significant. It's 2024. Just like at the beginning we talked about, this is the election year in the war, and Taiwan is the first one, and we show that Taiwan is holding the post that to against or anti the Chinese Communist Party. And so after this election, they received congratulations from over 80 countries, including US, the UK, and Japan, etc. So this confirms the importance of Taiwan's geographic location and the strategic position in fighting the evilness. And the second point I want to say is, after losing Hong Kong, right, at the beginning in our show, you can see that even an 11-year-old child is fighting for the democracy and freedom. So after losing Hong Kong, Taiwan is now the beacon of democracy and freedom for Chinese people that they can only look up to. And another point, very importantly, is saying that God helps who help themselves. The success show everyone that we are an independent sovereignty, and the people here love democracy and reject communism, especially the threat from the Chinese Communist Party. Back to you, Jenny Macedo.
Okay, well, very excellent share. So it's I just when listening to this explanation, I mean, this even though we speak the same language, we have almost the same culture, but personally, I never have a chance to vote. Like, not it's just for me, like, never exposed to this all this procedure or this democracy. I think this election is not just a example of this. I think it should be like as mentioned at the opening, like Mike Lindell, like just praise this Taiwan election as a sort of a gold standard, right? So this is and I mean, even though it's this after all, like this KMT, this Han, like won this as the speaker of this legislative this Congress, right? So, but I think this is even a sort of a better demonstration of what is a sort of a democracy should be looks like, right? So you have you win, you lose, right? So it's like it's just a perfect reflections of people's will. On the other hand, I would like to also just reiterate that I mean, this is it's kind of a Xi Jinping, the Chinese Communist Party's help, right, to really to put this DPP for the third term, right? So as Dr. TCC mentioned, it's like this alternative, like it's very crucial, but this has with the assumption that we are living in a sort of a peaceful world, right? It's not under some like existential threats from this Chinese Communist Party, as just demonstrated by this Hong Kong people, right? So people do understand, like so for example, like the title about this Taiwan's this sort of a democracy and identity. I think this is a really important, like to sort of people really would like to preserve their identity, right? So it's it's a great motivation, right, to win this election. So okay. So next, I would like to ask Dr. TCC to maybe to give a point of view from retrospect, like to do a compare and contrast for about the 4 years, like these two elections, like 4 years ago and 4 years now. So Dr. TCC told me that so 4 years ago she went back, but didn't wait the time the election day. So probably we can start with that to talk a little bit more about the changes between these 4 years. So
right. Thank you. So I've been away from Taiwan over 25 years now, and this is the first time actually I went back exactly to vote, because I know this is a critical election as we discuss its meaning and significance. Another thing I want to point it out is that due to the competition by local families and groups, so the transparency of the election has been watched very closely. So people here are very enthusiastic to have their candidate to be elected. So at each voting or counting stations, you always have people from different parties to check, to make sure no mistakes. And from the beginning, we saw that they have a serious counting events. So they shout out who got a vote and also show the audience who is that's what is showed, and the one person will record on the board. So then there's no mistake. And this is different from voting in the United States and in Canada. So US
maybe I would like to interrupt a little bit. So the clip we showed at the beginning is the whole process video recorded or not?
Yes, and people are there to watch it and to make sure their vote is not, wrongly recorded. So it's the whole process. And at the before the 1 month before the election, party will recruit people to help them to watch. So and as I mentioned, that the local party, family, they really strong. Influential, so they have to, and they compete very significant, want their people to be elected. So they will watch it very carefully. So there's no room for error. And that has been over years. It's not at the beginning, right? So we just saying that it's 1996, and over years we have improved and make sure that happens. So it's very hard. And compared to US has this mail-in voting, and this is a lot of rooms for flaw. And Canada, even with the paper vote, but they use the machine to read and count the result. So these sometimes I would say the old way is not always out of dated. Okay. So I think, a lot of countries need to learn from Taiwan.
Indeed.
And
indeed.
I would like to use this opportunity to promote Taiwan as well. So we have culturally, there's a National Palace Museum. We have 700,000 artifacts preserved from mainland China in 1949. And we use traditional Chinese characteristics, character, not a simple form. That's our complicated characters are inherited from our ancestors. And we also have night market where you can eat and purchase stuff for most of daily lives, including wares, footwears, clothes. And we are inventors, manufacturers. Besides high-end chips, we also the home for bubble tea, shaking tea, and the desserts like pineapple cake, which have been sold globally. And the northern part of Taiwan has Taipei, a metropolitan city with culture and people. And southern part, Taiwan has a national park, a great space for sea activities, including surfing, scuba diving for coral reef, and eastern part of Taiwan have different geographic sceneries. So there's reserves for Taiwanese original mountain tribes, and also have hot springs. So you're welcome to visit Taiwan, and you will enjoy Taiwanese hospitality, I would say. Back to you, Jenny Masuda.
Yes, yes, it's really like from Dr. TCC, I think everybody you can feel like what it does mean, right? Like identity, especially for people in the U.S. and in some Western countries, like began from this educational system. I think the communism started to poison our children, right? It's just to remove the sort of the basic sort of identity, the sort of the signatures of these cultures from very, very young age. I think Taiwan is a sort of it's another model for that. Like people all over the world should learn from. So maybe one more small question. So for this volunteer work, so are they get to paid, or they are really like a volunteer work, like just
Right. So for those are paid, for those workers are paid, but the members to watch for this counting time is volunteered.
Okay.
Right. So they are not influenced by the party.
Mm-hmm.
But the workers, like these are paid by hour, but they recruit people because it's an evening time and it's extra hour time. So that's why all the party will be there to make sure the counting is correct.
Yes. So yes, I think so. It's like you mentioned the voting rate is 73% of this year.
Yes.
Wow, this is
very high.
Yeah, very high. So I expect like yes, for other countries that will be the same, right? So this is sort of this election is a turning point, so Mr. Steve Bannon keep repeating in his War Room show, so elections has consequences, like a stolen election has a catastrophic consequences. So I would say Taiwanese people did a really great job, so it's okay. So now let's move on to the next topic. So Dr. TCC share her personal experience as a Taiwanese. Now we are going to take an advantage of her expertise as a doctor. I mean, from my point of view, doctors like Dr. TCC is the most variable sources. I mean, in our future society, right? So who's just not only have a sort of this expertise in his professions, which takes years of training, but also she has a sort of the courage, the clear mind to see these issues behind the vaccines. So okay, so probably due to some privacy issues, probably I cannot just tell all these bona fides of Dr. TCC, but I think her expertise can be shown in this a series of shows about there are probably 8 episodes she created. It's for me, so because I'm also from a academic background, I would like to say this is these are the sort of seminars of this series of lectures, starting from the very beginning questions, like should you get the COVID booster, and then to upgrade until so why this COVID vaccines is a sort of a CCP's bioweapons. Probably, Dr. TCC, just yes, I will give this to you. This is your expertise to talk about this issue. So.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny Macedo. So I did create a series, 1 seasons of the we call it a quantum health, and that's including a lot of vaccine injury, because right now over 70% of the population globally has received a vaccine one or more. Some of my patients has received 6, and I just don't know how long they will be wake up. So this is a very critical year for everyone, and we have to continue what we are doing now and stay healthy. If you are vaccinated with spike protein or its mRNA, or we call it gene therapy agent or CCP bioweapons, you can go to the FLCCC. So it's represent the Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliances website. So you just put a Google FLCCC, and you can find doctors close to you for antidotes. Or alternatively, you can follow us, including contact me at GETTR. You can find me at TCC 777, or follow our Quantum Farm show that you can find a Quantum Health. And there's a lot of information in there, and I hope you can help to spread the words that if not for you, but for others. And if you do not receive any of the spike protein product, congratulations. However, this is not it, because people around you might be shedding of spike proteins from their body fluids or even their breath. So my advice to you is prevention is better than cure. Avoid or reduce the time in public crowded space, and taking your daily vitamin C and zinc, and stay healthy. And then we'll see if we can survive from 2024. I think we will return to a better tomorrow. Back to you, Jenny.
Indeed. So, okay, so then from your professional perspective, like how many years do you expect people could just to set this record, right? Do you think it will take a long time or something?
Yeah, I think as long as people waking up, not continue to get jabs. And right now, we know over 60% or 70% of the U.S. America is not getting more jabs. So you can see that news saying that they, in the UK, they overspend the money for jabs and not being used. So I think people are waking up. So give it, another 3 years, and I think this disaster will getting better. However, for those people already get jobs, and I see in the clinic, we see more aggressive cancer, just like people call it turbo cancer. That will show up, and also some heart problem become chronic. Then maybe in 5 years, people will have significant disease. So these are things we will be seeing. Hopefully, we can conclude this disaster as soon as we can, as a group of human beings. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so I think we've arrived at the end of the show. So I would like to thank Dr. CC very much for her time. So as a doctor, you expect she's always very busy because, as usual in the Western countries, so it's you're gonna maybe you're gonna spend like $200 or something, $300 per hour for doctors, for lawyers, right? So it's like probably so we've cost Dr. TCC's probably at least maybe 45 minutes. So I think from this perspective, we earn some free money. So it's okay. So thank you very much. I will say this is the end of the show. So stay tuned. I will see you next week. Thank you very much, Dr. TCC.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
CCP. take down the CCP, take down the CCP, take down the CCP.
Take down the CCP, take down the CCP. Follow me and I'ma set us free. Take down the CCP. Let me tell you what I've been through, baby. Lived a life that was hella unfair. Seen things that been driving me crazy. In a country where the leaders don't care. Didn't think we had the courage to change it. Tore it down and they weren't prepared. Everything that they kept us from saying. Now we talking and they better be scared. Take from us. Tell us what and who to love. Swear I finally had enough. It's time to rise above. Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Follow me and I'ma set us free. Take down the CCP. I said, take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Communism's dead to me because it killed our families.
Communism sucks, hard for me to give a fuck. Try to tell them and they try to keep it on the hush. Middle finger up, turn into a fist. They wanna keep the poor so they never rich. If you wanna see the future, look into the past. Been a century of silence, we gon' take it back. I'm just stating facts, tell you how it is. Ain't no way to change shit if we don't resist.
Take from us. Tell us what and who to love. Swear I finally had enough. It's time to rise above. Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Follow me and I'ma set us free. Take down the CCP. I said, take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Communism's dead to me because it killed our families.
这是你我维护正义的必须，这是你我维护正义的必须。